Hi, I'm Mark DeJesus, and I want to talk about 8 peace robbers. They're thieves of peace that keep you from living in the peace that God has given to you. One of the greatest gifts God has given us is to live in supernatural peace. But I want you to know there's an all-out war against that peace. Because if you can hold it, live, and maintain that level of peace in your life, nothing can stop you. You'll think clearer, you'll be able to have greater confidence and greater strength. So I want to encourage you to build up your peace, to guard it, and be aware of these 8 thieves that will come. They seek to steal, kill, and destroy the peace of God from being powerful in your life. The first one is one that we all need to recognize, and that is a lifestyle of buzz. Constant moving, constant going, constant chronic busyness can be one of the enemies of true peace, because you were not designed to go all day long and then crash at the end of the day. You were meant to have margin, to have pit stops, to have moments where you are able to see the life of your heart and what God is doing, to enjoy relationships, to rest and recover. What I find is people tend to match a level of buzz to the level of anxiousness, fear, lack of peace they have. So they match it so that they're constantly in this daily buzz. You weren't meant for that. You have to learn to bring the RPMs down at times, learn how to recover, learn how to get still, and learn how to live a little more slow. Number 2, of course, is important to mention, and that is fear becoming a primary motivator in your life. You see, all you have to do is have a couple things that you fear maybe come to pass and prove its narrative to you, and then you're serving it constantly over and over again. If you start your day, project fear, serve it, and live by it, it's going to steal your peace, because off you go to the races of constant survival, control mechanisms. You may feel a momentary sense of relief in your control devices, but at the end of the day, you're truly not going to have peace, because peace is found in facing your fears, but also in letting go and letting God take control and letting yourself release control over circumstances in your life that we're always trying to fight over. Number 3, a third peace robber in your life is focusing on hoping that circumstances will change as your primary focus. So in other words, I can have peace when? I can have peace when God changes my circumstances, when He gets me out of debt, when He heals my marriage, when He heals my relationship with my kids, or when this breakthrough happens or this healing happens, then I'll have peace. It's actually a lie. You can have peace right now, because the peace of God is an internal thing. It's an inside job. It takes place within and manifests on the outside. So you can have a peace within that actually overcomes circumstances. You may just need to change your mindset. Instead of saying, God, focus on changing my circumstances, to God, change me. And then it empowers you in any circumstance. Number 4 is a big one that we all have to face, and that's chronic negativity. If you surround yourself with negative people, and if your main input is the news, social media, and all the headlines of the day, then you are going to be infested with a negative influence, a negative perspective. Fear will take over, you'll be afraid of everything, and your peace will never be able to be maintained. So you may need to do some negativity detoxing in your life. Get the negative input out so you can set the thermostat in your heart of what you're going to focus on, and letting the peace of God be a dominant narrative. Number 5 is important to recognize. It is a major peace robber, and that is comparison. The moment you compare yourself to somebody else, and you either feel better about yourself because you compare yourself to their pain or their dysfunction or their struggle, or you feel worse than someone else. Both situations are dangerous. So you want to stay out of comparison. Compare yourself into what God is saying about you. Make Jesus the image of what you look to, of who you look to, and stop comparing yourself to others, because your situation is not the same as everyone else. Your stage in your journey is not like everyone else. So beware of the trap of comparison, because it will always eventually steal your peace. The sixth peace robber that will come against you in your life is carrying false responsibilities. It will really steal your peace if you're carrying a burden you were not meant to carry. You see, there are a few things that God has called you in your life to carry, but so many of us have these extra burdens that have been stacked on in our life that God has not called us to carry, and we're showing the manifestation of the pain, the grief, the weariness, the sorrow, the anger, the frustration, and we need to come to a point of getting very clear on what it is God has called us to carry and the things in our life that are just not our responsibility. So look at the areas of your life. What stuff that people are putting onto you, or you've come into agreement with yourself that you think you need to carry, when really God's saying, I've not called you to carry that. Jesus said, my burden is easy, my burden is light. So I want to encourage you, focus in on only the burdens God's called you to carry, because that's where you'll maintain your peace. Number 7 peace robber is false expectations, meaning expectations that are put on you by yourself, by someone else, or projected expectations you think God's putting on you. These expectations will create pressure and a demand on you to have to be something you're not, have to do something you really shouldn't have to do. So you may want to look at your life and go, where have I come into agreement with expectations that I need to chill out on? Maybe you have expectations from family members or people in your life that are pulling from you and demanding on you, and you really need to make some decisions to go, you know what? I got to release myself of these expectations. I've got to learn to balance out the expectations in my life, get them grounded so I can keep the peace of God grounded in my life and firm in my heart. I found myself many times putting expectations on myself I never needed to. It stole my peace and kept me in hurriedness and perfectionism and constant busyness and driven behavior that took me out of the peace and rest of God. God wants you to live in His rest. It doesn't mean it's a cushy, just walk in the park kind of rest. It's a confidence in knowing He's with you and walking with you at each stage of your life. Number 8 is an important one to keep in mind, and that is the guilt factor. Oh my goodness, guilt is always seeking to lurk around the corner to steal you from your peace. Some of you, once you experience greater peace, guilt comes in. It's like, how dare you have peace right now? You should be da-da-da-da. You should be getting busy. You should be carrying this burden. You shouldn't be feeling this way. You shouldn't even enjoy any moments. You need to go back to this way of living. It will suck you right back into the vortex of dysfunctional living. So beware of the guilt factor. It will accuse you. It will condemn you. It will even use religiousness to make you feel shame and make you feel all these thoughts that don't serve you, that don't bring in the peace of God and help you live and walk in God's peace. So cast down guilt. Be aware of things that create guilt in your life, because guilt is a motivator. Man, it will stir you up and get you doing things compulsively and acting in ways that keep you from the peace of God. Release yourself from guilt and allow God's peace to give you the rest and confidence that you need. I hope these 8 peace robbers brought illumination to your life, but take a moment, let God show you where He wants to set you free. Remember, His peace is available. It's yours. Take hold of it, keep it, guard it, and don't let anything steal it. I invite you to check out more resources at markdejesus.com. I look forward to equipping you to live an overcoming life and to live healed and free.